Hello, 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 and welcome back to FRLT. It is time for round 2 here in Season 1. We come to Las Vegas, the beautiful track, gambling central of the world as it is known. And I guess it's going to be gambling central here for also the drivers, for, of course, making moves, as it isn't an easy track to make moves on. I am joined here alongside by Omi. How are you doing, my good friend?
Hello, Epic. Doing very, very well. Excited to get underway here in Vegas.
That is very good. I mean, it's nice to have you back this week. It's nice to be back again. Last week, we saw AMS take the lead of the championship out of round 1 with a 3-point lead. Thing is, we've got that, but then I guess we've also got FG would have been leading the constructors if they didn't submit their lineup late, as they would have had as they did end up having a 5-point deduction and going down to 20 points, so they could have been leading at this point. So we'll have to see. Well, we will have to see at the moment. We've got 18 drivers, as you can see, all ready to get going for tonight, which is something we all love to see. So let me give you a reminder of the current standings. Here they are. We can see AMS at the top on 23 points. AMS on top at 23 points. FGE at 20 points. Then ORT and DLR FP1 all sitting at 18 points, both teams fighting in for that third place. We've got ABE also sitting with ultimately 12 points, GRS with 6, and that's the final of the point scorers after XPG, STR, ARS, and AE all failed to score points out of round 1. Quite a shock from STR. They got quite unlucky in the last race. So at the moment, it's looking pretty good for a few teams. Looks like, teams like STR and ARS need to make a comeback, especially AE as well. They had a really tough race, to be honest. It was, these 3 teams at the bottom really got unlucky with their race, but hopefully we'll have to see. We should be getting going shortly, in the next minute or two. Probably we're going to be getting going in the next minute or two. And so yes, so I'm just looking. We should be getting going very shortly. Just give me a minute as I ping a few people to get ready in this stream. Well, what do you think about the current constructor standings, Omi? Because I want to get your opinion of who do you think has to come out on top this race.
Well, they are looking good, obviously, for a lot of teams. That isn't the case, though, due to how many drivers are caught up in the chaos last time out as well. So they'll be hoping to have a great race. But yeah, these standings are looking really, really good, looking tight, and I feel like it is going to come down to the last round as well of this championship with how close everything is looking. So cannot wait to see how this round unfolds. But yeah, AMS looking good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they got lucky with that 5-point deduction for FGE, They would have been 2 points behind, but now they're 3 points in front. And we are now readying up straight away and very shortly. So I'm quite excited for this. It's going to be interesting, to be honest. I believe we're getting ready. I think everybody's readying up. Let me just double check. Yes, almost everybody's readied up. But here's a quick reminder. You can see the standings on screen. Let's now head into the game. Finally, we return after staring at the standings for the last minute or two. So, here we are for Las Vegas, round 2 of FRLT. We've got some great teams on the board at the moment. Here are actually your teams for tonight. Of course, we have ABE in the Red Bull. We have ORT in the Mercedes, AMS in the Ferrari, XPG in the McLaren. Aston Martin have FGE and Alpine have GRS. Williams will be having the STR drivers. AlphaTauri with ARS. AERO in the Alfa Romeo with DLR FP1 in the Haas. So we've got a few good teams in there. You know, the whole grid full of good teams. To be honest, you know, very strong lineup there between everybody. But do you think that it's going to be a close one tonight? Do you think, you know, there's a lot, you know, on the cards for this team?
Yeah, I think we could have someone who runs away with it, and we could have someone, or we could have quite a few teams battling for it. So I think we're going to get one of the two. Obviously, we as viewers will be hoping for there to be a few teams all battling for it, as the last lap at Vegas always gets very interesting, doesn't it? With all of the DRS chicken and tactics coming into play as well. So it will be very interesting. But yeah, qualifying has begun.
Yeah, we can see it here. We're just waiting, I believe, for some drivers to choose their tyres. And now the session has started. 18 minutes of qualifying followed by a 50% race. That's what we're going to be having every week. We don't have sprint races in this league. And so I think a few people are going to be rather happy with that decision not to have sprint races. But we're going to be waiting to see who's going to come out on track first. You can see all of your drivers here already. We've only got 18 drivers out of the 20 we should be having. I believe we are missing an Alpine. No, we're not. I'm not sure who we're missing, actually. Are we missing? I think we're missing an Alfa Romeo. And I think we're missing, I'm not. Are we missing I think we're missing an I don't know what we're actually missing, genuinely. Maybe a Haas? Yeah, I think we're missing a Haas and an Alfa Romeo right now. So we'll see if they'll join later. We can see a few drivers coming out onto the track. We're going to go with some details. A few teams have qualifying bans. First of all, XPG have a double qualifying ban for this race. They also now that happens over 2 weekends. They had essentially 2 back-to-back qualifying bans. They used their qualifying ban for last week, and so they only have one for this week. But also FGE also have a qualifying ban, double qualifying ban for their drivers, because they submitted their lineup really late. They actually changed their lineup without saying. But as it stands, that means we've got 2 teams that can do outlaps but can't do any more than that. They can't set a lap, as they will actually get a qualifying ban if they set a lap. So we'll have to see. So as you can see, we're just watching DLR Lewis Jones come down the straight at the moment. Everything seems to be going good here. He's getting ready for his lap. He will be the first driver to cross the line, as it looks. Let's ride on board with him. So I'm going to let you take this lap, Omi, as he ends off his outlap.
Yep, absolutely as well. And it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. What drive was it, sorry?
It is Lewis Jones.
Yeah, so Lewis Jones then making his way down to the first corner then on the brakes. He is going to go there, and you can see as he makes his way through the opening few corners of the race, of the lap, I should say, and seems pretty nice so far. A couple of few corners, and now DRS is open for him as he's about to make his way through the tight few couple of corners for him, trying not to outbrake himself through it. Can be a really chaotic corner for this for the race as well. So definitely keep your eyes out during the race for that corner as he continues to make his way through this lap. My voice is dying as I've got a bit of a cough. So Epic, I'll let you take us through the rest of this lap.
Okay, fine. If you're able to survive. But here we go, coming through the fastest corners on the circuit. We remember back to last year's inaugural race where Lando Norris, of course, had his nasty spin and crash in that session. Coming down on the long back straight, one of the longest back straights, opening the DRS for one more time. And actually the last time on this lap, as this is one of the only tracks on the calendar that doesn't have DRS down on the pit straight, which is a rather odd feature to have. Well, a feature not to have on the calendar and for a track. But so far, very good from Lewis Jones, putting together a decent lap. As you can see, 4 drivers have now retired. That is because they have qualifying bans. So don't be worried. They're not giving up super early. But coming round into last corner, it's a 1 minute 32.1 for Lewis Jones. It's a good start to his run. We can see Snape Star goes with the 1 minute 33.7. Not a good first run. You can see Koza goes into P2. Ethan goes P5, bottom of the group, with HS Moore picking up into P4. Blair Callum moves up into P3. Half a second off of the quickest driver so far in the session. I think we just saw his teammate Ryan go up into third. So topping his teammate there. Only a few tenths off of the fastest, but remember, these are first runs in the session. I believe the next driver to cross the line is Ayas Nico in the AlphaTauri. So far, it's been an alright lap for Nico. He's hoping he can perform better than he did last week. It was a bit of a rough race up and down for the ARS driver, hoping he can get his team some points this week as he goes up to P5 in the session. And so that's pretty good so far. We've got a couple more drivers coming up to the line. I believe we've got AMS Martinez coming up to the line. Wrong driver. I meant to look at the other AMS driver of Term, who's just gone P8. As we see Enzo 33 go up into P4. We can see Martinez coming in on his lap. You can see Snipes coming through the last corner and up into P7. And so far, one driver's gotten really close is ORT Elijah at the moment up into P2. And so far, the ORT driver's doing very well with P2 and P4 on the roads. But so far, Lewis Jones looking very happy with his first lap, topping the times. So that is, I think that's pretty good. What do you think, Omi?
Yep, very, very good by Lewis Jones. 1.5 tenths ahead. So I think he will be happy with that one. And he's got a good advantage right now. And let's see if anyone else is going to be able to get close to him.
What I'm surprised is he's actually going for a second run here on the same set of tyres. So obviously feeling that like maybe there's some time in the lap. Maybe he can find a bit more time. Nobody else seems to be doing the same strategy as he is. You can see he takes a wide sort of corner going on the wide line through on the long right-hander. Coming through now, down the hill. We can see Lewis Jones. Is he going to improve out of Sector 1? Sector 1 is actually very long, I have to say. It is the longest sector on the entire track. It spans about half the distance of the circuit. And so it is actually one of the longest first sectors we actually have on the entire calendar. But across, he's 3,000 down, so proving that maybe track evolution is there. We know it is strong around this track, but it does show that even on worn tyres, you can still find a bit of extra time. Nearly hitting the wall. That corner looks so scary with that camera angle. But so far, it's looking good for Lewis Jones. We followed this man. He was the first one to cross the line. And we're following him again. And some other drivers start to come out for their second laps. You can see he's actually found 2 tenths in the middle sector, obviously showing that there is a lot of time in the lap, even on worn tyres. Now coming down, he has a little bit of a look-up. That looked like a little bit of a look-up. We're going to follow him to the line. He almost hits into the wall there. He's running low on ERS. He's going to use the rest of it coming up to the line. He's using everything he's got. Coming round the last corner, he's going to find a 1/10.5. And that is a 1 minute 31.992. First driver to get into the 1 minute 31s. And that is actually a very good time. But has he maybe wasted a bit too much time on the soft tyres? What do you think?
Possibly. He may have as well, because remember, it does go very quickly, and you can see everyone else already starting to come out for their second run. So yeah, he's out of sync with everyone, but he's extended his advantage at the front, so not too bad for him.
Definitely not. I'm currently going to be watching AMS Martinez, one of 2 drivers not to set a lap so far, and that is Ollie and AMS Martinez themselves. Definitely, last week saw AMS get into the lead of the constructors. So far, AMS only sit 10th and 15th. So definitely, maybe some mistakes made over that. Maybe struggling a bit around Las Vegas. We'll have to see. But you can see, here comes Martinez coming round turn 2. Almost hitting into the wall. That looks scary every single time. Let's ride on board with Martinez on his lap. He's coming through. I always think Sector 1 ends at the end of this straight, but it doesn't. It actually lasts a lot longer than that. But so far, it's actually looking pretty good from the Ferrari, pretty clean. Definitely the Ferrari duo, definitely the AMS duo of Term and Martinez do need to improve on their positions, especially to hold on to this current championship lead of 23 points. They want to gain that lead. They want to get further ahead. But at the moment, a couple of others throwing in some practice and throwing in a couple of hurdles for these two to jump. But so far, Martinez seems to be putting in a decent lap. He's right behind his teammate. It looks like his teammate's actually going to give him a tow down the straight, which I have made it clear is allowed. This is allowed in the league. I will make this clear. Tows are allowed in qualifying, and so that is okay. So there we go. You can see down the straight, he's going to add a bit of extra speed going into this sort of final proper sort of corner, and now heading through the last sort of makeshift 3 corners. Now heading down towards the final and last corner, the flat out left-hander. We're going to ride on board with Martinez here. He's going to cross the line. He's going to go up to P2, 1 minute 32.2, and that's actually a pretty solid lap there. We can also see Koza as well, going up into P2 with a 1 minute 32.0. So definitely the Alfa Romeo very close onto the back of Lewis Jones. So there's a lot going on there. Oh, and there's a Ferrari in the wall. That looks like it is actually AMS Term. Yes, it is. He went into the wall. I'm not sure how he went into the wall there, but he did. I'm quite surprised by that at the moment. I'm very surprised by that. Didn't expect that so early on. So at the moment, pretty crazy. That's not good for AMS. You know, they're not having a good round so far. Yeah, definitely they're not having a good round. Definitely not a good qualifying. I mean, Martinez up there in P4, but Term much further down the order. We're going to watch Nico, sorry, not Ethan. We're going to be watching Nico on his current run. Let's see what he can do. Coming up to the line, he's going to be taking it wide. He's going for full speed and up to the line. He does jump up to P5. And it's very close between that top 5. Just over 2/10 splitting them. We can see Snipes goes up a position there. It looks like we might be having an Alfa Romeo coming around. No, that is Koza. It looks like everybody is done for their second runs. Oh, and Enzo hits into the wall quite gnarly. But I can say a few drivers are on their outlaps. One of them being Lewis Jones, our current provisional pole sitter, Elijah, and Snapestar. I believe the closest one to the finish is Elijah. Yes, it is. He is the closest driver to the finish. We'll see what he can do. We can see that a DLR FP1 driver, the teammate of Lewis Jones Recon, has joined late, but that is okay. There's no penalties for that since he has joined before the race, which is all okay, which is good. But you can see here goes ORT Elijah. We're going to watch him on his lap, currently P7, ahead of his teammate just slightly, but definitely 2/10 in there, and that would put him up into P3. So it's very close between everybody. Definitely going to be a very close fight here. So Elijah coming down into turn 1, taking turn 1 very nicely, coming round. It's rather a difficult set of corners. A little bit of lagging from him. As we can see, Ollie with the 1 minute 31.798. He is on provisional pole position. Somebody has now challenged Lewis Jones on that provisional pole, and that could be something scary. Blair Callum has decided to retire from the session. That is one of the STR drivers. Definitely only P10. Not as happy as he was last time. Maybe there's something to be found there. But now heading down, you can see still Elijah only up by 0.02 of a second. He's not finding any time. I bet he'll be wishing that he found a bit more time in his lap, but at the moment he isn't. He's hanging on for dear life. He is trying his best, but he is doing all right. So let's see what he can do. Elijah, he's coming down on this pit straight. We're going to see his Sector 2 whether he's improving or not. And at the end of Sector 2, he's improving by just 0.04 of a second. That would be enough at the moment, I believe. Might just be enough to pop him up into P7, but it depends how he takes these last few corners. He takes them rather tight and rather well. And so far, he's now coming down and heading towards the end of the lap. Let's see what he can do. Can he go any higher? Yes, he can. He goes P2. He slots just ahead of Lewis Jones, which is the next driver to cross the line, as Lewis Jones takes provisional pole position over Ollie by just 0.136 tenths of a second. That is so close. That's just incredibly close for pole. You can see Ollie coming into the pits. He probably could have just one more run left. But so far, it is looking very close to the top. Very, very tasty at the top. It might be 3 tenths between the top 3. But between the top 2, there's just around a 10th between them. So far, that was a bit of a clutch moment for... It is, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, Lewis Jones just saved his chance. If he didn't make that run right, he could have lost out there. I believe Snape Star completed his lap time in 1.1 seconds, only finding himself up into P11. He's not on a lap now. I believe that will be the end of his qualifying session here. But so far, definitely something there. But I believe the first driver to cross the line is... I believe it is actually DLR Recon, who's... Ooh, it looks like he crashed into the wall. Bit of lag there, but it's okay. He seems like he's okay. Went a little bit wide. Little bit of lag from him at the moment. But coming down, looks pretty decent. The Haas shifting a little bit all over the place because of a bit of lag. But that is sometimes just purely connection as he slides out of the exit. He hasn't set a lap time yet. Only driver not to set a lap time. The 4 others all have qualifying bans, so they could not set a lap time. So for Recon, this is now or never. He might try and set a second lap. He might have enough fuel for that, so we'll have to see. How is his first sector looking? It's looking all right for his first sector. Not too great. We can see ARS Ethan finding that he doesn't think he can find any more time on his lap. Or he's crashed out, possibly. It looks like he might have crashed out at the end of Sector 1. It does look like he did crash out at the end of Sector 1. Drivers will still have time to set a lap. I believe Recon's only going to find one driver in his way at the moment, and that is Nico, who might get in the way slightly, heading down towards the last corner, but that's okay. The last couple of corners, that's okay. He gets out the way nicely. We have just seen, I believe, that was Snape Star retiring as well from the session. He's feeling like he can't get any more out of it. Coming round the last corner, Recon goes up to just 13th place. It's not where he wants to be exactly. We're going to look to the next driver. I'm not sure who is next. It looks like Ryan got possibly blocked on his lap. Who knows? I'm going to actually look to Lewis Jones, who's improving on his lap. Elijah has decided to retire from the session. He doesn't think he can get any more. And so P3 is where he will sit for now. But we're currently watching this man go round. Lewis Jones, provisional pole sitter. He's getting all of the slipstream he can off of his opposing drivers, all of the opposition. He's trying to get a bit more slipstream, bit more straight line speed to carry out this lap. Currently 600ths down at the end of Sector 2. Only a couple corners can make the difference now for him. He's got to take these well, but he invalidates on his last run here in Las Vegas. This means his session might be over unless he wants to save and go again. It looks like he is wanting to go again for another run. We're going to watch to the next driver. I believe the next driver is actually Nico on a lap. I believe he is the next one. Amos Martinez on provisional pole position. The AMS man, he was up there earlier on. He is there now. He is looking down on a chance to get pole position. Sorry, I'm not even sure what I'm saying. Provisional pole. Nico has invalidated his lap there. We're looking to HS Moore now. He is the next driver to cross the line. We then got 2 more drivers very close together, and now heading down towards the last corner. It looks like a few drivers don't feel like they can improve at all. HS Moore finds half a second in the lap. He's into the top 10 now. I believe we look to Recon, who stays in his position. Ollie improves, but not by enough. Only improving by about 0.08 of a second. By about 1/10 of a second. And still being behind Martinez by about 0.2 of a second at the moment. We're now going to look back to a Mercedes of Enzo 33 coming around the last corner. He's going to jump up ahead of his teammate into P4. It's a very good run there. We can see Ryan coming round as well. He's improving quite a lot. He doesn't improve. He is 6/10 down and ultimately is now P7 and will finish in that position. I believe the only driver left is AMS Turnboy. He hits the wall off of the exit. He, I believe, is going to be the last driver to cross the line in this qualifying session. Here he comes round the last corner. What is he gonna put in? It is only a 10th improvement and sits 15th and bottom of the drivers who ultimately had done a full lap. Crazy moments here in qualifying. Absolutely crazy. Wow. What do you think, Omi? That is a crazy session.
Yeah, definitely a crazy session as well. We thought Lewis Jones would have had it earlier, but no. Martinez comes in, Ollie comes in. That was absolutely incredible. So yeah, really enjoyable session, and I think we're gonna have a close, interesting race.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, at first I thought Lewis Jones might have just hooked it up. I mean, of course, Ollie was one of the last drivers to cross the line, and so of course we saw him improve. But I mean, I did expect, Lewis Jones or Ollie to be fighting there, but Martinez really came out of nowhere to get that pole position. Of course, we did see his teammate, Term, giving him slipstream down the back straight. So obviously that must have been gaining maybe a tenth and a half in his lap. So definitely it's pretty amazing to see. So here is the qualifying order. Here at the end of the Las Vegas short qualifying. Here for round 2 of FRLT, AMS Martinez, the Dutchman, the AMS driver, gets pole position here for round 2. Ollie sits second, with Lewis Jones closely in 3rd place. Enzo 33 is 4th. ORT Elijah is 5th, with Koza in 6th. Ryan is in 7th. Nico in 8th. Snipes is in 9th. Moore is in 10th, with Blair Callum 11th and Snape Star in 12th. AOS Ethan is in 13th, Recon in 14th, Terms in 15th, and that was the last of, I believe, the drivers who set a lap time. But we do have, I believe, 4 drivers who ultimately had a qualifying ban, and so they weren't here. One driver, of course, not turning up, which was, of course, not what we want to see. It's never what we want to see, realistically. So at the moment, that wasn't great, but that is all right. So the lobby will be readied up at 33 past. So in the next 3 minutes, we will be getting going with some racing within the next 3 to 4 minutes. So we'll see. So yeah, so here it is. We're in the dusk capital. Usually we're a bit darker than this. I'm not sure why it is as light as it is. But who do you think is going to come up on top here, Omi? Because there's quite a few.
Yeah, lots of drivers in contention. Could be Martinez, could be Ollie, could be Lewis Jones, could be some other drivers as well. And it's going to be important to keep their nose clean. And I think every single driver knows that after last times. So yeah, let's see who's going to be able to keep their nose clean, and let's see who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. I mean, one driver I think definitely that performed well. I mean, they all performed rather well, to be honest. To be fair, Ollie up there. I didn't expect Ollie to get P2. Especially also with AMS Martinez on pole. So there's a couple of drivers. I mean, AMS obviously finding their driver up on pole is exactly what they wanted to see. Exactly what they wanted to see for this race, because they're leading the championship, and so this will help them a lot, because both their drivers, I believe, did get. I believe one of their drivers got on the podium last time, with the other driver making a few mistakes, getting a penalty in the end. I believe that was Chris Yu who got the penalty. So yeah, I mean, I'm actually pretty I'm pretty excited for this, to be fair. Who knows where it could go at the moment? Who knows? There's a lot on the line for the drivers. There's a lot of things that could happen right now. I mean, there is a lot that could happen. It does seem to be a bit lighter than usual for this race. It isn't exactly a night race. It's more of a sort of getting closer to nighttime race. Yeah, so we'll be going in just 1 minute's time at 33 past 8. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Sadly, I can't look at the chat right now, or it just literally the stream would just be me reading the chat. But I'm excited to see what we can do here off of the race start. It's nice to see that we do have 10 people watching. It's me, Epic Freestyler 8, LMT Callum. Sorry, sorry I didn't read that. Like I said, I can't see the chat. But yeah, it is me at the moment. It's me and Omi here for today, and probably for every week. So hopefully Omi's voice will get a bit better. That's why he's been a bit quiet today, because his throat is still sore. But he will be here if we have any safety car moments, which is very possible. So we will be getting going in the next minute or two. Let's see in the next minute. We are getting going now. It is exciting. And I'm going to make sure that everybody readies up. And here we go. Everybody is readying up. Let's go for round 2 here in FRLT season 1. I'm excited. We got almost a full grid, 19 drivers. I'm very excited to see what could happen. There's a lot that could happen. And here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Here in Las Vegas, there's a bit of a stop. And it is going. And there's a safety car. I'm confused. Okay. I am very confused that there's a safety car. Okay. This isn't good. Okay. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we are going to be having, I think, a restart to the session. Yeah, I think we are going to be having a restart. If you want to talk for a minute, Omi, please do while I'm sorting everything.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I thought I'd have to be employed already. So, well, I am. But, yeah, that was very, very funny. Very, very funny there. We got going. Well, got going about 5 seconds after the lights went out. And then, there we go. Safety car out. So, we're going to have a lobby restart. Not what we wanted, so we might just be a bit delayed here. So, let's see. The drivers are obviously saying some of the other stuff. Some would prefer a lobby restart. Some would obviously prefer a well, drivers are already starting to retire, so it will have to be now a lobby restart. I think if everyone retires, that will be the easiest way, and then we can just get going in the same lobby and then just a custom grid. So, yeah. But interesting stuff there.
Yeah, so everybody is going to have to retire. It's not, it is in the rules, sadly. I believe I did put it in the rules. Yeah, so it is currently in the rules. We're just going to see as everybody retires from the session. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, so leave the lobby. So everybody's got to leave the lobby now, sadly, and it's going to have to be remade again, which is really disappointing.
Oh.
But we will sort the grid. I hope somebody has the order of the grid. Hopefully, Omi, if you could go and read it out, please, because I don't know what we had for the grid order.
Yes. Right, I should be able to rewind back on the stream and get that.
Okay,
For us.
so um,
So
yeah, okay, so yeah, so at the moment I'm just waiting for somebody to re-invite me because it seems to be more of a problem possibly on my side, potentially. So who knows? But we're going to look at the standings for a minute while we get this all sorted. So yeah, so as everybody is retiring, okay, so essentially this is what is going to happen, just for now. Da, 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 da. So yeah, so we're getting everybody ready.
yeah, when you get in, you'll probably need to invite me. But other than that, should be all okay.
Yeah, so we should be going in a minute or two, hopefully. I have gotten an invite.
Yep, if you could just send me one, and then I think we should be all okay. And then there's a few more drivers who'll
Yeah,
need
so
to get in.
we're only a few short at the moment. I can see one driver actually has already taken over the invites. Well, I'll invite you straight away. I'll invite you. Yeah, I've invited you now. Okay, so we need to actually look at the grid and sort the grid order for this, which give me a minute. Hopefully we can actually do this. Sorry for the silence. I am currently just trying to sort this.
Yeah, so hopefully I just need to remember to press spectate. There we go.
Yeah, make sure you spectate.
So hopefully this time we'll give it a second go, and hopefully this time it all goes to plan.
Yeah, so that should be. Everybody is in. Difference is we have now got a driver as the host, which is odd because it didn't happen last week. But
Yeah.
who knows? It's happening this week. Not much we can do with that. But yeah, everything should be going. At the moment, you guys are staring at the standings, and I do apologise for everybody staring at the standings at the moment. So yeah, so one driver's left, but that's to make way for another. Bruh. So yeah, so it's getting sorted at the moment, but let's have a little talk about the standings, but also talk about how qualifying did go. AMS leading the championship, as you can see, 23 points. FGE on 20. Yeah, so essentially, those top two pretty close. ORT as well on 18, same as DLR. ABE on 12 and GIS on 6. The other 4 teams all on 0. But yeah, so how would you say that sort of which team needs to perform this week? You know, which team really needs to have a big comeback? Because I know ARS and STR need it, but also others. You know, especially also one team that needs to actually bring it back a lot is ABE, currently on 12 points.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. So it's taking a few minutes for us to get this done because it seems like everybody is arguing over who should do what at the moment. You guys are sadly going to be stuck on that standings page for a minute or two longer. I do apologise for that. Sorry, we cut out for a minute there. That was me just being me. Yes, so essentially, yeah. So at the moment, we're just trying to sort everything out. As you can see, this is our lovely thumbnail we've had. I said about new lobby. These guys are all just trying to, just thinking about it. Not sure whether. I'm just seeing a lot of pings going on at the moment. So sorry about this disappointment slightly that we've had this, especially this so early on, but it will be sorted. Okay, so yeah, so we've got the order. We could just make a new lobby. Everybody's just... So basically, everybody's just saying make a new lobby or not. It's a very split decision. I'm thinking let's make a new lobby. I'm just putting it as a question: new lobby or wait a bit. Okay, so a lot of people are saying wait a bit longer. We'll wait a few more minutes and then we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so a few people saying new lobby and stuff. It's very split. Anything to say, Omi?
Well, don't really have a clue to be honest. About this. But I think now I don't really know too much what's going on, but it seems like we're missing one person. So yeah, don't know if they're online or what.
I think we'll be doing a new lobby probably. Yeah, I think we'll be doing a new lobby. Because we are currently 10 minutes behind what we should have been doing. So I am going to put it out there just quickly. Actually, he's responded. He has responded. So we might actually be getting going after all. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. People are very confused in this lobby at the moment. No, nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's happening or what's going on. Nobody knows. Who is lobby host now? I don't know. It's back to Lewis Jones again. Okay. This should be fixed. This should be fixed in a few minutes. Sorry about this massive delay we've had. Everybody just arguing. People are saying we should have just done a rolling start. But I mean, what could we do?
Yeah.
I mean, what could we really do? Because it's more of the problem of if people no. Okay. Okay. Somebody's actually given the guy that we need to do the order, and then we should be able to get going because we suspect it might have been me being the spectator in the lobby that might have been a problem. But at the moment, everything else is working fine. We should be getting the results done very shortly. We should have everything going very shortly and ready to go. So we'll see in the next minute or two. Yeah, so it's a known glitch that happened with the safety car. We'll see whether it will work. So yeah, so it's a known glitch. It's being sorted, hopefully soon. People are not very happy at the moment. I don't know who's doing what. I am just thinking new lobby at the moment. I'm gonna ask. Let's just. People up. This is slowly. This is so slow. I'm so sorry to everybody. This is just taking so long. I don't know how it's taking so long. We should be getting going in the next couple of years, maybe.
Maybe.
It's been
Slight chance.
okay. It's been about 12. It's been about 15 minutes now, and just I've said new lobby. Nobody's agreeing with me, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know really what's going on. Yeah, everybody's just saying let's just do a new lobby. I don't know what everybody's doing. I generally don't know what everybody's doing at the moment. They're all just fumbling around. Genuinely, I'm lost on who's doing what at the moment. Okay, there is going to be a new lobby. Callum Patterson, thank you so much. Finally, somebody's doing it. Finally. So we are going to be hopping into a new lobby. That is what is going on. So I'm going to quickly just tell everybody. I
Oh,
I don't know what these guys are doing
I'm
remotely.
confused.
I don't know what they're doing. I generally don't know what these guys are doing. I'm generally lost.
Yeah.
We've made it such small steps.
Yeah, because Callum Patterson said he's doing a new lobby, and then he's saying join back now.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
I don't know what these guys are up to. They want to get going. Okay, we're making a new lobby. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not waiting any longer. Um,
Okay, so Callum Patterson is doing a new lobby. Okay. Right. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. We're finally getting somewhere. Apologies, everyone, for this. We are getting somewhere now, though. Do not worry at all.
yes,
We're getting
I
somewhere.
finally. We're getting somewhere very slowly, and I do apologise for the slowness of today. Genuinely, I do apologise for how slow it has been. I don't. Some people are doing some things. Other people are doing other things. I'm just waiting to see whether I'll get invited this week. Um, but yeah, I know it's taking a while.
Oh, now Callum is saying his internet has went.
This is oh my god. This is
Oh.
this is.
Well,
If his internet is gone, oh my god. I don't know what is happening. Okay.
and now we have more doing it.
Can we just get some? Okay, we're gonna go mute for a few minutes on the stream, and we'll catch you back when we hopefully have a lobby. Sorry about the long wait. We finally return, and I'm very sorry for the massive amount of delays that we have had during this race. Everybody just arguing, and sadly it was a glitch that somehow I do not know of in any way, shape, or form, and everybody's just been arguing for the last 30 minutes. But I do thank everybody who has sticked around for this. Luckily, the race will finish only about 20 minutes later than usual. So we're not going to be that much later than usual. So it's not going to be long. So yeah, I'm just sorting it at the moment. Oh my god.
Oh no. Now the grid's wrong. Oh.
We're just
I
gonna
cannot
race.
believe.
We're just racing.
Yeah.
We're
I
just
cannot believe
racing.
this.
I mean, if we wait any longer.
Yeah.
Okay, we're finally going. It is 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go here finally for Las Vegas. Very late, but it's a good start from AMS Martinez. He leads into turn 1. He's gone wide though. He's made a mistake. This has dropped him down the order. As you can see, some contact off of lap 1. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy everywhere. But here we go, heading down. It's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Not a good start from a couple of drivers. We could see Williams of Ryan and Tom side by side into the corner. Oh, and that's a Mercedes into the wall. That is Enzo. He is round off of the start. And it is yellow flags everywhere. I believe that is a virtual safety car. I believe it is. Yes, it is. It's a virtual safety car just for the short moments with the broken front wing. We've had a lot of delays today, but it is only a virtual safety car, so it's not too bad. Drivers still will be able to be going round. Definitely some things. Honestly, absolutely mental at the moment. I have no words for what's gone on. Definitely. But we're back to racing once again, and it's been a shocking one. And you can see coming round, Ollie leads off of lap 1 after a bad start from Martinez. He's currently fighting with the Mercedes of Elijah as he makes his way through back into P3, and for the moment, that is back up onto the podium after a rather bad start. Absolutely mental so far off of lap 1. Quite a few incidents happening here and there. You could see Snape Star making his way past the Red Bull of Snipes up into P7 now, and a crazy one there. You can see Blair Callum making his move onto the Aston Martin of Medal. And he does make his way past, but he spins it into the wall, and he resets the track, which is actually going to be, that will result in, I believe, a 10-second penalty there. And so, sadly, for Callum, he has now made a massive mistake and will be getting a post-race penalty. A couple of things happening off of lap 1 there, but Omi, please take this fight while we look at it down the straight.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, we might be getting a few changes as Lewis Jones makes his way through up into the lead. Very long straight as well. And there's a lot of position changes. You can see more making a move in his medal, trying to also get past with side by side once again for the race lead. And as expected, it is definitely really chaotic already as more trying to make a move. Medals in there as well on the soft compound tires. And he's going to try to be late on the brakes. And Ollie is spun out as well.
That is unlucky for Ollie. It's down to P5 at the moment. He's trying to do some blocking. Oh, and there's a couple of drivers spinning and having collisions on the pit straight, or kind of the pit corner. And that sees Rayan down to P11 outside of the points. And that's also going to see Ollie retire from the session. He's done with the session now. We can see Blair Callum missing the pit lane entry. And so a Red Bull not happy with getting spun out there. Definitely just already one retiree in this race. Quite a few incidents happening. You see Moore trying to make a move on Snipes. Not going to work, but he's going to get tapped on the rear by AIS Nico. So heading round this left-hander, we're going to see, is there an attack? Oh, you can see the Aston Martin of Medal trying to make a move on Nico there, but it doesn't exactly work. A lot has happened off of this first few laps, but you can see definitely a massive split between between fifth and below and the front four. Well, really the front three. They're the only couple of drivers within a second of each other at the moment. But you can see DRS is open. Let's run on board with Martinez. He wants to recapture his lead. He's used a lot of ERS to get back there, and he's going to make an easy move on the straight past Lewis Jones. And that is a virtual safety car because Blair Callum has ultimately retired from the session. It's another virtual safety car, but this could actually help Martinez because at the moment he is back into the lead, and this does stop Lewis Jones from making the move. So we're going to have to see what is going to happen onto the next part of the lap. I have no words, honestly, for this race. Absolute huge amount of shenanigans has already come on. Already two drivers DNFing in the first 4 laps of today's race. You can see a driver in the pits. That is, I believe it's MV who comes into the pits now. He's the McLaren coming in. Obviously, he's not happy. He's a front wing change. So not going well for the McLaren duo at the moment. 14th and 15th currently where they are. You can see Medal already taking an opportunistic move down the inside. And he actually makes the move before the end of the straight. And he's now up into P6, capturing what he needed to get there on the soft tyres. Of course, he is on the softs, which is allowing him to stay in front. And so for the moment, everything is going crazy. I mean, it's honestly been a crazy race, hasn't it?
It definitely has. And even if we may only have 2 retirement, which is still quite a big thing, and we've had 2 virtual safety cars, there's been a lot of contact. I've been looking all over the field, and there's been drivers using each other as brakes, dive bombing absolutely everywhere, and hitting each other. So it has been really chaotic throughout.
Yeah, definitely. And as we can see, Lewis Jones has now retaken the lead of the race on the back straight. I think we're going to be seeing this quite a lot, but you can see that top 3 split by less than 2 seconds. About 9/10 that top 3 is split by. A few seconds back to the next driver then, but you could just see it's very close between these 3. They're all battling over the victory. You could see Lewis Jones just staying in front of Amos Martinez coming round. It's been pretty crazy so far. We can see a bit of lag coming on here. But definitely, as we can see, Rayan making a move. He is holding on to his position. Double moving, very risky there, but he's going to get the undercut then back on. Ethan back for P9, and now he's going to try and hold on to it onto the next straight, but he's being pushed all the way by Ethan heading onto the next straight because Ethan's going to have DRS. And heading down the straight, Ethan, is he going to pull in front enough to hold on to position? Yes, he will. He's going to hold on to P9, and that's a good save for Ethan because he almost just lost out on a top 9 position. We can see one of the closest battles is, of course, up at the front, which is very interesting to see. You can see Martinez almost pushing Lewis Jones through every corner. As we can see, a big mistake from Tom in the background, down in P3 at the moment. Definitely things not going well there. for him. But here comes Martinez with his rear wing open. He's going to make the move for the lead past Lewis Jones once again in this race. He's going to find himself back up into the lead. I'm going to see it once again. And it's very surprising and rather interesting to see once again for today. So, with all of that, hopefully things are going to go a little bit better in the next few minutes. We'll see what happens. Absolutely mental at the moment. Everything is happening. Everything is going on. And, I mean, a lot could still happen in this... in this race, really. 6 laps run now. We're 6 laps in out of 25. We've just seen a move as Nico made his way past Snipes for P6 in this race. And that is rather good as his teammate, Ethan, is also trying to make his way past for P11 as well. You can see there's quite a lot of lag going on at the moment. Not sure why there's this much lag going on. For me personally, I'm not sure whether you are getting it, Omi. It might just be me.
The drivers I'm watching, they seem pretty okay, so it might just be you.
Might just be me. That's disappointing. But you can see Elijah at the moment in P4. Currently, he's become the first driver to get a penalty in today's race, which of course isn't good. Currently sitting P4, but Medal is catching him by about half a second a lap, which is quite a lot. And that is mainly because Elijah's been making a few mistakes. You can see Martinez is actually going to get double overtaken with Tom taking the lead. Out of nowhere, he's going to take the lead into the left-hander. Absolutely manic stuff there. I mean, at the moment, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, that's a new leader to this race, Tom, taking the lead for the first time today. Interesting to see this top 3 all battling it out over these 25 points, remember. No team actually ended up scoring 25 points last race, except FGE, but they had a 5-point deduction. So they only came out of round 1 with 20 points. So this is big points currently for all of these top 3. HS Moore up into P7 now, and fighting for something good here. He's going to try and make everything work at the moment. Yeah, so a lot going on all the way around the field. Definitely a lot is going on. The big battles towards the front, to be honest. These front 3, we all love to see it. These front 3 all having this done. Honestly, there's just so much going on. I mean, there's a lot going on here and behind the scenes, to be honest, Omi, and definitely a lot to be spoke about after the race.
Yep, unfortunately, for the second race in a row, that's going to be the case. And let's see if we can do it next week and get it right.
Please don't give me that. Please.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully it all goes well next week. And we don't have any of these issues as the battle for the lead continues.
Yeah, it is. Tom back into the lead, I believe. Or he's still leading. I'm not sure which way. I think he just took the lead on the back straight. But at the moment, everything is going well. You can actually see further behind, Elijah has just been overtaken by Medal on the back straight. But Medal is now below 10% on ERS, so this could be something interesting. Looks like Elijah has about 60% ERS, so he's definitely been saving more. Nico now comes into the pits for the first time today. A couple of drivers coming in. Let's have a little look at the current tyres everybody is on. The front 2 are on, everybody on softs. We only have currently 4 drivers on soft, 5 drivers, sorry, on softs. A lot of drivers on hards and mediums. It seems to be a bit close to 50% of drivers are on hards and mediums. A good start for Medal, I have to say, up 12 places in today's race. And same for Term as well, up 10 places. So things are going well for a few of the drivers. So we'll all have to see how it is going to be at the end of the race, because we are currently on lap 8 out of 25. And the battle for the lead is not over, because we've got Tom, Lewis Jones and Martinez all fighting over this position for the victory, all fighting for podium places at the moment, while we've got 2 drivers further back, Medal and Elijah, fighting over P4. Currently, looking at Lewis Jones, he's just retaken the lead of the race for the first time since lap 5. So it's nice to see the Haas back into the lead. I have to say, Martinez, though, struggling to find his way back into the top 2. And there's a yellow flag at the end in Sector 1, actually. I believe that is Recon. It is one of the Haas. It's Lewis Jones' teammate, Recon, who's currently had a yellow flag in Sector 1. He's down in 17th and last. So some things aren't going well for drivers, definitely at the moment. Looking further back, Kozaks has made the move on Nico and is up into P14. The ARS duo, again, looking like they might go without points this week. So really for Nico now, it's up to him to really bring back the chance of points. Recon has decided to retire on track, which is, of course, a bit frustrating that he has decided to retire on track, especially where he has retired. I'm not sure whether we'll be getting a safety car or not. We might be getting a safety car. Who knows? He looks like he's retired in a safe spot. Looks like it's just going to be a yellow flag in that sector. Yes, it is. No safety car, no virtual safety car. So it's okay for the moment. HS Moore has just gotten a 3-second penalty. So big one for Moore there. Yellow flag in sector 1. Looks like it is actually Enzo. It looks like he's had a bit of a spin on some fresh tyres. So he's down to last place now. And we can see Tom has made his move for the lead. And it looks like Martinez is also wanting to make his move to gain a position on Lewis Jones into the braking zone. Is there going to be a lot to fight for? He's still there, but he is going to get into P2. He goes a bit wide because he's having to make that dive there. But at the moment, top 4 without penalties. And so at the moment, they're not wanting to risk it too much.
Yep, definitely not wanting to risk it at all. But Tom now on the softs, trying to pull away as well as Lewis Jones stuck on the back of the Ferrari. So starting to get interesting. But you know these guys, lap 10 of the race, but luckily no safety car or virtual safety car for Recon as Enzo's hit the wall and he's continued on.
Let's have a look. Enzo, this man, no wing damage, just looks like he might have been going a bit slow there, so it could have just been a bit of a tap on the wall or something. But this fight for the lead is definitely becoming a bit of an interesting one. Because, you know, it's a 3-way battle. All of these guys pretty close to each other. All of them also making their own small mistakes, which are losing them positions. As Elijah has decided to retire from the session. Looks like he's made a mistake. Yes, he has. He did crash into the wall, so Elijah is out. And that is Mercedes out of this race. And full safety car now. This is really going to change things in this race now, because think about it. Everybody's going to be making pit stops. Who's going to come out where? Because we know some cars might get delayed in the pits.
Yep, some cars might indeed as well, but the chaos continuing here in Las Vegas as we have a safety car out.
This is an interesting point of the race, because the drivers wouldn't be wanting to make maybe pit stops for maybe the next 3, maybe 5 laps. They wouldn't want to make a pit stop. But this is actually good for the soft runners, because they knew they would have to try and go long and risk their tyres. But now they won't have to. And we'll see whether Martinez is going to come into the pits. Yes, he is. All of the top 3 are coming into the pits. We'll see how they actually fare in the pit lane, because I believe Tom's teammate will also be able to come into the pit lane at the moment, because there's enough of a gap between them. So we'll see whether that can work between the 2 Aston Martins. Into the pits, let's see. Putting on the medium tyre, expected, as he did make the softs last 10 laps. And so far, coming round the last corner. The first corner now. He is still out in the lead. He's just made it out in the lead. Let's see, is there going to be many changes further behind? You can see Lewis Jones has actually come out really far behind these two. So maybe that could have been something for the full racing speeds. But we're going to see who's going to come out where in the pit stops. We could see a wing change for Term. So maybe something going on there for Term. Maybe that's why he was a bit slow. We can see Snipes has decided not to come into the pits. I believe he stopped at the start of the race anyway. I believe he did. We can look at it actually with the stops. Yes, he did. He's already stopped earlier on in today's race. His tyres are only 4 laps old. And so he's going to find himself up into P5. The one and one of the only last Red Bulls in today's session. This race now, it's closing everybody back up. everybody was quite spaced apart. Now they're all going to be very close. You can see this has already brought the top 4 closer. And this might actually bring a bit of worry to the top 3 because we've seen Medal. He's made up a lot of positions today, but he's also been very quick. And so maybe Medal, maybe he's found himself into a podium chance. I think Snipes has had some decent pace on those hard tyres, but he had to go with an alternative strategy. So he might be finding himself in a good position, but he is on the hard tyres, same as Moore. Term as well has unexpectedly found himself in a good points position. But yeah, a lot could still happen in this race. What do you think, Omi? Do you think there's a definite, huge contention over this podium here, or do you think it's going to be the top 3 will run away again like they did off at the start?
It does definitely depend on how many battles we see behind. If they're able to stick with the top 3, that could be interesting. If not, then obviously the top 3 have a chance of getting away once again. I think the top 4 possibly might be able to break away. Martinez possibly might drop down due to the hard compound of tyres he's got on as well. So at this stage, but then obviously it can all change quickly. So it can go any ways, really. And it'll be interesting to see who's going to be able to stick with the leaders this time around.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely something that could happen. So we'll have to see how it goes. A lot could really happen here. At the moment, looking at this, this is what it looks like. So here's the telemetry for the drivers. We're going to have this on just while they're racing around because it's a nice size. It's something nice. It's something different. Yeah, so definitely we've definitely had some moments between qualifying the race. Outside of the actual racing itself, we've definitely had some moments on our server. So definitely a bit to talk about there, of course. Well, behind the scenes a bit, something to talk about there with some of the drivers. And also, but we've also got this racing here. This safety car has really changed it for a lot of drivers. It's quite interesting. I'm actually quite interested to see who's going to go where because it is quite close to the top, especially between the top 3. They're only lapping maybe about 2, at best 0.2 faster than each other. But that's because of DRS, because the leader doesn't get DRS. And so that's really the only reason at the moment. I believe the safety car might be coming in this lap. It might not be. Who knows? It might be a really late safety car to come in. Or we're going for another lap here. I believe we might be going for another lap. I hope we're not. No, safety car is in this lap. It's just very late. It's very late to say so. So here we go. We're going to wait and see when Tom will get going here. And so let's see what can happen going down towards the first corner, turn 1, the big and important corner here. So here he goes as Tom has gotten going, and he's actually gotten away pretty well, 0.3 ahead of second place. It looks like he might be safe at first going into turn 1, and so that is a very good start for the race leader. We can see some battling going on behind. We can see Kozak's making a move for position on the Alpine of Snapestar. He's up now into P11. Good move for him. Term making a move on the other Alpine of now Moore. He's now up into P6 in this race. He is on the medium tyres while Moore is on the hard. So it's expected that he will be faster here at this point. We can see Tom has actually gotten away really well. He's over a second ahead already. I mean, so at the moment, it is generally very, very crazy at the moment because that is not a start that Martinez would have wanted. It's one that he probably would have expected because he's on the hard tyres, but not one that he would have wanted. But now Lewis Jones is going to be the next man who's going to be all over the back of the Ferrari car. We're going to look on board with Lewis Jones. I believe DRS will be activated next lap or the lap after, so we'll have to see what happens there. Chasing down the straight now is Lewis Jones. He's chasing after Martinez. We can see some other moves are happening in the background. We can see Martinez's teammate. And Turnboy is making the move on the Red Bull of Snipes. Snipes has a bit of a moment, and there's a lot of collisions happening further back. Ethan going backwards. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Contact between Kozaks and Ethan there. You can see a lot of moves going on. You can see Rayan has actually spun round on the pit straight. And oh, there's a massive collision! Oh my god, MV is out of this race. He is out of this race now. Same as Rayan. And I don't know what has happened off of this restart here. I generally do not know what has happened. It looks like we just lost 3 drivers within a few hundred meters. I generally don't know what happened. Omi, do you have any idea? I'm generally confused.
Yeah, so it seemed like the Alfa Romeo spun, first of all, before they even came over the line. Then there was even more contact. Yeah, so we've lost even more drivers, and it seemed okay. Then it got chaotic again. So it's been, it's just been one of those races and just one of those days. So, yeah, we've lost a few drivers in that, and I think this is, I think hopefully we're hoping it calms down a bit because we like exciting racing, but this is just constant collisions now. But hopefully we're going to have a good race to the end and we don't lose any more drivers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a second safety car, back-to-back safety cars here. And we also had 2 virtual safety cars as well. Thing is, in the first 10 laps, we actually had pretty decent racing. You know, only 2-3 drivers actually retired. I believe it was 4 in the first 10 laps. So the fact that 3 in 1 lap have, well, 3 in the space of a couple of hundred meters have retired. I believe we're going to see a couple of interesting strategies. Oh, Tom! He's faked Lewis Jones into the pits. This is a moment for the race here. We can also see Snipes is also coming into the pits. Same as Minion as well. A couple of drivers coming into the pits. Did Lewis Jones get faked into the pits? Or do you think it was purely just a moment that happened that he just chose to make that decision?
Unsure about that one. I guess let's see if he says anything at the end of the race in the chats. But definitely crucial. And yeah, now you're going to have drivers trying to defend. Now you're going to have drivers on the attack. Different strategies. So let's hope it is going to be entertaining all the way till the end as well. But yeah, so lap 15 out of 25. We have a lot of drivers staying out. Let's see if they're going to decide to pit this lap. Or obviously they're going to lose out time. But let's see if they decide, well, it's better than nothing. Or do they just decide to continue with their strategy and stay out there? They're obviously caught the safety car and everyone's about to catch back up.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I do have to say is last week, I said about improving racing standards, you know, the driving standards of everybody going into this race. And I will be fair, for most of it, it's been all right. You know, for the first 10 laps, we actually had pretty good race, you know, pretty decent racing. You know, nobody was doing stupid dives or anything. But now, to lose 3 drivers within a couple of hundred meters, really does, you know, it has shocked me slightly. Because, you know, 4 retirements, okay. You know, out of you know, 19, okay, that's, you know, that's like about a quarter. That's fine. But the fact that we're down to 12 drivers in this race out of 19 is crazy. Because this is also, we did have more retirements last race. We had 8 retirements out of 20 drivers. But we've got to remember that we have 1 less driver. And so we've had 1 less retirement. But this is the thing. I did say last week, racing standards had to improve coming into this race. And sadly, I do feel like they haven't improved coming into this race. It generally feels like they've just kind of stayed level. I think we've had good racing from our sort of top 5. I think from a couple of drivers here, we've had some good racing, definitely. You know, clean and very good racing. From a couple of other drivers, though, and quite a few that have sadly retired from either bad luck or just, crashing on purpose, definitely think some things do need to change. Of course, we had the long delay between qualifying and the race, which was very shocking. Definitely some conversations will be had about that. It's just been a very crazy weekend. I would say in some ways it's been crazier than last week. I know we had 8 retirements last week, but sadly we didn't have, luckily we didn't have as long as a break between the qualifying and the race. But yeah, everything will be sorted for next race, hopefully, if people start to drive and race correctly. Because that would be nice if people could start doing that. Generally, I do think it'd be nice if people could start driving a little bit better. I do think, I will be fair, like I said, a few of our drivers here today have raced pretty well. There's not been any collisions. For instance, between like the top 3 we have, Lewis Jones, Martinez, Tom, Medal, and Term. We haven't seen any problems from those guys. So I will say that is good to see that, at least half of our grid have been clean today. At least half of our grid have been pretty clean. But I do feel like changes will again have to be made. As you can see, safety car in this lap. Hopefully this is the last time we'll also have a safety car in this race. But we're going to wait to see when Tom Gomes again. He's led now the most laps this race out of anybody. He's now led for 10 laps in a row, by the way. That is how long he's actually led for. So he's actually led for quite a while now in today's race. So he's going to go now. He's going. But Martinez has actually been able to keep up with him and chase after him, going down into turn 1. Side by side between Martinez and Tom through turn 1. He's going wide. He's going for the wide line through turn 1. He can't make it work. But you can see Martinez's teammate trying to also make the move on Medal. Medal makes a bit of a mistake mid-corner. We're going to ride on board with Turnboy. He's not able to make the move just yet. At the moment, we can see a couple of side-by-side moves further back. The Alpine swapping positions here as Moore goes up into P6 as his teammate drops down to P7 now. Snape Star not having a good day so far. Ethan has now made a couple of moves up the grid. You can see, look at that dive bomb from Ethan. Some good racing there. Really amazing racecraft from the ARS driver. Now finding himself P9 in this race and back into the points once again. He's made up 2. He's gone from 12th to 9th already. So already a couple of very good overtakes from the AlphaTauri man. We can see an overtake out of nowhere from the Alpine of Moore trying to make the move on Lewis Jones. But he's not going to make the move work. I think we've just seen Enzo fighting with Snipes and Minion. Mainly fighting with Minion here. There's fighting everywhere at the moment. I believe the closest battle is actually at the back between Enzo and Minion. They're coming down the back straight, the longest straight, the main straight. It's long, it's big, heading down into the braking zone. Is he going to send it? Yes, he is. He's going to make the move. And we can see Snipes and Ethan are also fighting over the position of P9 here. Both on soft tires, both fighting over position. This is the position that they were talking about. This is the position that they needed to make in this race. You can see Lewis Jones has made the move on Term. He's gone and back past and now up into P4. He's back into fighting for a potential podium. You can see Term is also getting attacked by the Alpine of Moore. And ultimately Moore is going to win that battle out of the 2. That's a bad run for Term. 2 corners and 2 positions down. Disappointing. Nico has made up another position. He's now up to P7 in this race. Those soft tires are really coming in useful for the ARS man. This is absolutely crazy. I'm just looking at this. It's all over the place. Everybody doing everything they can. At the moment, it is the Aston Martins that are 1st and 3rd. Definitely some things there. Definitely some things to go on. So at the moment, yeah. So with this, currently the Aston Martins of the FGE drivers, 1st and 3rd. This is actually quite good for them because they are behind AMS in the standings, and this will pull them into the lead of the constructors. And there goes Medal on Martinez into the braking zone, and now he is up into P2, and that is a 1-2 for FGE at the moment. And that would count to 44 points as it currently stands. Absolutely crazy. DRS is finally enabled. We finally got in there, but you can see Martinez just not being able to make the move as of yet. This has been some crazy racing all over the place. You can see Martinez trying to chase down Medal for P2, but at the moment, FGE are having a very commanding race. And that is going to be something that's very important in the next few races. And we can see Snape Star making the move on Enzo now. These two have been battling for the last few laps for P11. No points in those positions, but you can see Term is actually falling down. Oh, there's an incident between a Ferrari, AlphaTauri, and ultimately the Red Bull of Snipes. That is actually rather disappointing. That is actually very disappointing there, because that is the one and only ABE driver left in today's race, and that is Snipes. So at the moment, ABE, they wanted to catch up to the front teams. Sadly, they won't be doing that today. No points for them as it stands. You can see Nico's made the move up into P5. Martinez makes the move back on Medal for P2. You can see Ethan's made now the move up to P7 past Term. And he is out of ERS, but it is still P7, and it's still more points for ARS, who currently only sit with 6 points. So this has generally just been a mental race all round. Definitely just crazy. I've had no words for this. We've had some incidents, we've had some crashes, we've had some moments. They've been good at times, but so far, I have to say, the racing has been better in the last few laps. So maybe something is coming together, as we're actually going to see. Turnboy holding on to his position of P8, and he's going to stay in that position. He's going to actually hit the wall quite heavily there to stay in front. But at the moment, it's been pretty crazy. The front, though, we look to the front. We haven't spoken about them in a while. Tom ahead of Martinez by 1.2 seconds now. Medal also dropping back off of Martinez, with Lewis Jones catching back up as he wants to get back onto the podium spot. Generally, no words for this. No words, but there goes Medal. He's going to make his way past, very easily past AMS Martinez. We're going to see Minion as well make his way past the other AMS driver. AMS just not having a good day, are they, Omi?
Yeah, definitely not having a good day there, as Minion gets past Ethan there. The battling all continuing through as they come over the line to begin lap number 21.
21 out of 25. Only 5 whole laps now remaining of this race. It's disappointing that we've gone through this many laps in a race that has actually shown some quite good racing from everybody. But we still have this top 4 battle, because Medal is actually catching back up to his teammate, Tom, who seems to be struggling a little bit on his worn medium tyres. Remember, he is on worn mediums. Let's have a look at the tyres currently. Both Tom and Medal, both on 10-lap old tyres, same as Martinez. A couple of other drivers currently down with newer tyres, as we actually see Snipes retire from this race. That means no points for ABE and no points for STR once again today. 2 teams once again retire, and it's disappointment once again. Nothing really coming alive for those 2 teams so far in their campaign. Maybe in the next couple of races. Remember, this is an 11 race season. It's only round 2, so they still have 9 more races after this to make the difference. But Medal, he's been wanting to chase this lead, and he's going to be chasing it in towards the end of the main straight. He takes the lead of the race for the first time today, but FGE now holding on to this race lead since lap 6, by the way. They haven't let go of that race lead since lap 6, and so definitely it's been a lot of laps led for FGE. They could actually reach 20 laps here today led, which will be which will actually count to being the most out of any team in a single race, even including last race. And so there's still a lot up for grabs here between the drivers. But definitely Martinez dropping off slightly here, but he still is on for 15 points and so still try and keep AMS in this battle for the championship as it stands. But Lewis Jones as well trying to get DLR FP1 up into some good points in the standings. They came out of round 1 with 18 points. They're wanting to overtake any rivals they can to get up a few more points. At the moment, there is only one Haas remaining. His teammate Recon sadly retired from the race. One of the battles we're actually having on track, which is pretty close, is actually between Ethan, Moore, and Term, all within a second of each other. Pretty interesting battle we've got on here. We're gonna look from Term's POV, and you can just see how close they actually are. That they're all within attacking distance of each other, and so this could actually be an interesting fight. But we can actually see Tom is re-overtaking his teammate for the lead of this race, and we might actually see. We almost saw Martinez try to go on the attack and try to make the move there as well, but he's actually going to get attacked by Lewis Jones. He's going to get attacked by the Haas, and he's actually going to lose out another position, and he's now down to P4 and off the podium. And these chances for AMS to try and retake their lead in the Constructors is just disappearing more and more. But at the moment, FGE looking very strong out of this second race. What do you think, Omi?
Yeah, looking very, very strong indeed. Will be interesting to see whether they can continue it into the next few rounds as well. But now we're in the final few stages. Some battles still yet to be decided. Mainly the battle for the lead as Ethan tries to make a move for P7.
And there we go. There's a move. Pretty nice move from Ethan. He's been battling with Moore for the last couple of laps. It seems to be changing all the time on this second straight and then also on the back straight that they seem to change positions. But we just saw Moore hit the wall, and this has actually allowed Ethan to get a little bit further out in front. His softs, of course, look to be quite bad, but also the softs of Turn were also looking quite bad because he's just had a massive slide. Sorry, the mediums seem to be looking bad on him because he's just had a massive slide and lost half a second to the car in front. So definitely he's losing some tyre wear. He's struggling a bit on the mediums. This is roughly when the tyres will start to struggle. But to put it out there, we are on to the final 3 laps of the race as Medal goes back for the lead on his teammate. He returns to the lead. We're also going to see Martinez making the move on Lewis Jones for P3 in this race. And this is looking like a spicy battle, not only for a win between teammates, but also for the podium between AMS Martinez and DLR Lewis Jones. Also, we've got to look a bit further back between Minion and Nico. These two are also very close together. Minion's sort of slowly been coming up through this race. As we can see, Nico's made a bit of a mistake. Does this mean Minion is going to go on the attack as we only have 2 laps remaining in this race? This is all Nico has left. He needs to make sure he can hold on to P5 for as long as he can for the last 2 laps. As we can see, Tom currently P2. A couple of drivers you can see. Here comes Lewis Jones. He's wanting to make the move around the outside into turn 3 as he does make the move, and he returns the favour and gets back up onto the podium here. His soft's definitely going off a bit, but he still seems to be willing to fight, and he still wants to go to the end. As we can see, Ethan also re-overtakes Moore once again as he now finds himself back up into P7. At the moment, ARS are looking for a very nice day, a very, very nice day. 16 points at the moment that they will come out of round 1 with, and that is, round 2 with. They'll come out with 16 points on top of their current 6, so they'll be up to 22 points in their current campaign. See, Enzo's got in a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting at the moment. But all the battles on track pretty close, but you can see there is really mainly only battles for either the win or for 3rd place. We've also got this battle further back between Nico and Minion, and also between these 3 all battling for position. Look at that, being squeezed to the wall. We can see Tom has retaken the lead. He wants to take this lead onto the last lap. The main question is, will he be willing to give up position when it comes down to the last couple of corners? You can see Martinez has also made the move because Lewis Jones is off track. You said contact. You said that there was a bit of fighting there. And so maybe this might be looked at by the stewards because now Lewis Jones looks like he might be out of a chance for a podium unless he can really find a lot of lap time, which of course he hasn't found in the last couple of laps. But we've got a battle all over the place. Every single corner, every single area on track, we've got this battle. All of the top 6 in their own small battles, especially here and also at the front. But we're going to follow with the 2 at the front. We're going to follow on board with Medal, see what he can do through this first sector. He seems to be going pretty calm. He seems to be waiting to save up his ERS, while Tom seems to be more trying to get through his ERS. Definitely, Tom seems to have maybe saved a bit more ERS for this last couple of laps. Definitely, mostly, probably looking at more towards the last lap of this race. But let's see, how much will that DRS be able to help? Will it be able to help enough? Because it's currently a 7/10 gap between first and second. This is the battle between the FGE drivers. It's all coming down to the wire here. It is all going to be down to everything. 8/10 is the gap. When is he going to start pushing? When is he going to push a lot? His teammates already used up his ERS. And look at how much he's just going to start to close. He's not closing in by a lot. He is now. He's closing in bit by bit. Is it going to be enough? He's now using ERS. He's using everything he's got. But was it a bit too late? Maybe it was. Nico retakes the move for P5. But we're going to see, coming around the last few corners, we're going to actually see Tom take home a victory here in FRLT. He takes his first victory of the season and takes FGE second as he comes across the line first with Medal in second place. And that is good. AMS Martinez comes in third and gets back onto the podium with Lewis Jones in fourth. Nico's going to come round after a hard-fought battle in fifth. Minion is sixth. Term is seventh. We're going to see Enzo out of nowhere. He is going to come up into the points. He's going to finish 8th place and score some points for his team. HS Moore as well. This man's been fighting with Ethan for quite a few laps. He's going to come around and finish 9th, but due to penalties, he's going to go down to 10th. And Snapestar will be the last and final driver to cross the line as he's going to finish 11th and be the only driver to finish outside of the points here today. So, pretty crazy race for everybody. What do you think, Omi? Because that was a very crazy last few laps. I mean, it's been quite a crazy race, a lot of retirements, but that was definitely something different on the last lap.
It definitely was as well. A lot of contact, a lot of chaos throughout, but also the great thing this week was at least we got some good racing by a couple of drivers. I would say most drivers do need to do some work really, because there was a lot of stuff we would have there was a lot of stuff that you missed, I missed. There was a lot of dive bombs absolutely everywhere being thrown, especially in the early stages. I did see luckily they weren't retiring due to it, but there was a lot of contact by drivers dive bombing each other and using each other as a brake, as I described earlier. So yeah, still some work to do, but at least we saw some good racing by a few drivers today.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you there. So here's the rundown. Tom wins this race from 9th to 1st. Really amazing day with also his teammate Medal also going from 16th to 2nd. So definitely something crazy there. AMS Martinez, he went from pole, but sadly went down to 3rd, but still finishes on the podium. Might be an investigation into what happened between him and Lewis Jones, who finished 4th. You can see the whole grid here. Everybody from 12th downwards ultimately DNF'd from today's race, which is disappointing at the most. But honestly, it's been a pretty crazy day. To be honest, I mean, it's been quite an exciting day as well, I think, for everybody. Ultimately, this is where we say goodbye in this stream. But I do want to say thank you so much to everybody. It's been generally an amazing race. It was a good race with some good action, with some good things going on. Definitely up and down. Definitely a lot of people. A lot of things happened. Definitely a lot to go on for the next couple of races. Definitely a lot to talk about after this race and maybe going into the next race. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a pretty crazy day all round. But once again, thank you so much. I hope everybody has enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. And we will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. once again. This time, we're going to be going to a slightly different circuit. We're going to be going to a completely different circuit, as it's going to be something that's very special. It is a track of Brazil, short, quick, everybody loves it, and it's going to be great to be back at a track that I think many people love. But Have you got any last words, Omi? I don't mean in your life. I mean for this stream.
Yeah. Not really. Other than make sure you join us next week as well. Hopefully, the racing will get better, and hopefully, we won't have any sort of delays. So yeah. But thank you for joining us, and thank you for sticking with us today through all of the delays.
Yeah, I really echo that message. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. It's been an honor to commentate. I was Epic. This was Omi. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.